There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty times.
Good morning, and welcome back to science class, where today we are going to be ending our discussion on sound. Okay, so we've learned a lot about sound in these last couple of weeks. But there was one thing that didn't get touched on in your book that I would like to talk about, and that is, how fast is sound? Sound has a speed. Everything that moves has a speed. You may remember that when we talked about the frequency, we showed you something that shows the sound moving in waves, and that sound moves, and it moves at a speed. So how fast does sound move? Well, would you like it in miles first or in kilometers first? I'll give it to you in miles first. Sound moves at about 761 miles per hour. In kilometers, that's about 1,235 miles per hour. Sound is very, 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 very fast. Okay, so, and for a long time it was believed that people could not go as fast as sound. You see, not too long after the airplane was invented, people wanted to make faster and faster and faster airplanes, but something happened. The closest they got to that 761 miles per hour, the more the airplane shook, until eventually it would blow apart. People called it the sound barrier, or like the sound wall. They said, we'll never, ever get faster than the speed of sound. You can't. It can't happen. Oh, yes it can. In 1947, an American test pilot by the name of Chuck Yeager flew a ship, a specially designed aircraft called the Bell X-1, which is like a cross between an airplane, a jet, and a rocket ship. And it was believed that he was going to kill himself doing this, but instead this happened.
With all 4 rockets firing, Yeager climbs to 56,000 feet in less than 2 minutes. And he does it, the first human to crack the sound barrier. Now, with propellant exhausted, Yeager reduces his speed and altitude to come in for a dead stick landing at 160 miles per hour.
Chuck Yeager flew faster than the speed of sound. For just a few seconds, he was the fastest person on the planet. And since then, airplanes have gotten faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Now, you may have noticed something that happened when we saw that little video of Chuck Yeager flying faster than sound. Right after the narrator stopped talking and he went fast at the speed of sound, there was a noise. It wasn't a very loud noise. That's just because the microphones from back in that kind of time couldn't pick them up very well. Let's find out what happens by looking at some videos of something that travels faster than the speed of sound. See what happened there? What happened there is, as these jets flew fast at the speed of sound, this white stuff happened around them, and there was a very loud noise. It wasn't the noise of the jet. It was the noise that happens when you move faster than the speed of sound. When you move faster than the speed of sound, something happens, and it's called a sonic boom. Again, going back to our sound waves, we saw that when sound moves, it makes these little waves. But if the thing that's making the sound is moving, it's pushing those waves in front of it. And sooner or later, if it goes fast enough, if it goes that 760 miles an hour, that 1,238 kilometers per hour, those sound waves will smack into each other and make that boom noise. And we call it a sonic boom. As far as that cone, that white stuff that happens, you know what that is? That's basically a cloud. Remember when we talked about air? We talked about air pressure. Well, as those jets fly that fast, they're building up air pressure. They're building up air pressure, bringing it together, and when they hit that sound barrier, when they hit that speed of sound, it causes a change in air pressure, and the water that's in the air cools down very fast. And so it makes like a sort of cloud. What that thing was around those jets, it was a type of cloud being made and then very fastly melting away. But that's called the sonic boom, when things travel faster than the speed of sound. Have you ever seen a whip? Here's a guy with a whip. And if you've seen a guy with a whip, you know that whips make cracking noises. And for a long time, I thought that that was just the sound of the whip hitting itself and making that noise. But no, when that whip cracks, it's traveling faster than the speed of sound. It's making a small sonic boom. Here's a little picture of a huge whip, so you can sort of see it happening. And there you go. It's called a sonic boom. When you travel faster than the speed of sound, you make a little explosion behind you. Well, a big explosion. These cameras can't pick it up very well. If you were there in person, it would sound like the loudest thunder you ever heard. But it's called, yes, that's the sonic boom. That's what happens when you travel faster than the speed of sound. All right, with that, we are done with a sound for this year. Before we go, let's answer some questions about sound, shall we? Question number 1, how fast does sound travel? I gave it to you in miles per hour and kilometers per hour. You can write either one, or you can write both. Sound travels at about 761 miles per hour, or about 1,238 kilometers per hour. Question number 2, when something goes faster than sound, what happens? And the answer to that is that you get a sonic boom. And question number 3, who was the first man to travel faster than the speed of sound? That was Chuck Yeager. He only died here a few weeks ago. Now, he was in his 90s, I think. So yeah, he lived a long time. But he was the first man to travel faster than the speed of sound. Okay, so there we go. You have a test tomorrow. But if you've been doing these questions, watching these videos, you shouldn't have much of a problem at all answering the questions. Okay, there's some true or false questions, and a little bonus one there at the end, just for you, because that's the kind of nice guy I am. I'll give you bonus questions. Well, there you go. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow for your test.
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?